Hello, I'm Brent Gardner, and this is the NRA-ILA Grassroots News Minute for Friday, October 16th. Here with today's first story is correspondent Krista Cobb.
Thanks, Brent. As we've been reporting, the U.S. Supreme Court will soon hear the landmark Second Amendment case of McDonnell v. Chicago. The case will address the application of the Second Amendment to the states through either the Due Process Clause or the Privileges or Immunities Clause of the 14th Amendment. The case has major implications for the legality of restrictive gun laws, not only in Chicago, but also in other cities and the states across the nation. The decision to hear the case gives hope to Second Amendment advocates across America that this fundamental freedom will be protected from infringement throughout the nation, from impermissible regulation at all levels, state and local as well as federal. This week comes the news that U.S. Senators Kay Bailey Hutchison and Jon Tester are joining forces with U.S. Representatives Mark Souder and Mike Ross in filing a joint pro-Second Amendment amicus curiae brief before the Supreme Court in McDonnell v. Chicago case. Last year, the historic case of District of Columbia v. Heller invalidated the district's ban on handguns. However, the Heller case applied only to federal enclaves, such as Washington, D.C. A favorable ruling in the McDonnell case would ensure that the individual right affirmed in Heller also applied as against state and local regulation. And now, back to you, Brent.
Thanks, Krista. Bathed in camera flashes during a news conference on October 7th, New York City's Mayor Michael Bloomberg was in his element in announcing a wide-ranging undercover investigation by the City of New York into illegal gun sales that supposedly revealed a willful disregard of the law by 74% of gun show sellers, or so he claimed. The ego-driven multi-billionaire's publicity stunt was neither wide-ranging nor representative of what occurs at gun shows, nor was it intended to be. And it determined nothing about 74% of all gun show sellers. Instead, as Bloomberg's report on the stunt openly admits, his investigators attended gun shows only in states that supply crime guns trafficked across state lines at the highest rates, and only in neighborhoods with the highest incidence of federal prosecutions for straw buying and trafficking, and proximity to urban areas experiencing gang violence. This so-called investigation focuses attention on only 47 individuals who, based upon their comments and actions, seem the most likely to violate a gun sale law. Even that amount of deliberate skewing of Bloomberg's sample of the nation's gun show sellers did not work as he expected. Only 35 of the 47, hence the fraudulent 74% claim, ultimately exercised poor judgment with respect to a gun sale law, or in perhaps some of the cases may have been willing to break a law and thus be subject to prosecution. And since the day of fair, hard, and objective reporting has apparently passed into journalism's history, newspapers went along with Bloomberg's charade like shills at a carnival game of chance, reminding us why public confidence in the press has dropped to 15% in annual polls. Bloomberg's bottom line in all of this? You guessed it. Congress should adopt Senate Bill 843 and H.R. 2324. Bloomberg and his media friends failed to mention, of course, that both bills also propose that gun show promoters be registered, be required to pay unspecific fees, and be required to maintain ledgers of all non-dealers who bring firearms to a show. H.R. 2324 further proposes that promoters be required to provide such ledgers to the Attorney General. Reporters worthy of name would have pointed out that buying a gun for a family member or friend as a gift is not a straw purchase. It's a violation of the law only to buy a gun for a prohibited person. And competent reporters would also have noticed that Bloomberg's investigation actually undercuts his call for requiring background checks on non-dealer sales at gun shows. The most common gun sale violation, Bloomberg says, is that straw purchasers defeat the background check. Requiring more sales to be run through checks would not alleviate the straw purchase problem one bit. Individuals, dealers, and non-dealers alike who knowingly break the law should, of course, be prosecuted, as NRA has long advocated. Obtaining and providing a gun for a prohibited person are both federal felonies, each punishable by 10 years in prison. However, enforcing gun sale laws is the responsibility of the BATFE and state and local agencies. Bloomberg has no jurisdiction in other cities, let alone outside of New York State. His periodic interstate escapades are not only possibly illegal, but risk compromising federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies' investigations. At the bottom line, Bloomberg's effort shows that even when you work very hard to find lawbreakers at gun shows, you find that such individuals are few and far between. Once again, Mayor Bloomberg's so-called investigation only demonstrates his true priority: media grandstanding. For more information on these stories and up-to-date legislative alerts, please visit our website at www.nraila.org.